News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Hello, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb. Welcome to the broadcast today. Bonnie Entler is Executive Director of Seeds of Literacy, a local adult literacy program. She's here with a student, Crystalie Martinez, to tell us more about the work our organization is doing. Then later on, Larry Benders and Steve Frowork from the Cleveland Site Center will talk about the mission of the Site Center and its programs and services. They will offer a lot of insight onto that. Also on the broadcast today, Rhonda Greer of Christian Children's Home of Ohio will be here to talk about children in need of foster care and adoption. Good afternoon again. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with Bonnie Entler, who sits on the left. She's Executive Director of Seeds of Literacy, and Crystalie Martinez. Is it Martinez or Martinez?
Martinez.
Martinez, who's a student at Seeds of Literacy. Good to have you both with us.
Thank you.
Let's begin with you, Bonnie Entler. What is Seeds of Literacy?
We do basic education and GED prep classes for adults. We really empower adults through education, but we take a really different approach to education. We actually do all one-on-one instruction with a core about 200 volunteer tutors who help out.
And you prepare them for what?
We prepare them for the GED.
For the GED, so they can get their high school diplomas.
Yes.
Their high school diplomas. And it's a good thing. I bet you are busy all the time doing this.
We are. We take in new students every single week to our program.
Yeah. Speaking of students, you brought one with you. Crystalie is with us. Tell me what's going on for you, Crystalie. What are you preparing for over there?
I prepare for the GED test. So far, I've done 3. I'm left with the social studies GED test, and there's really great tutors there that help you prepare for the test and give you the
skills that you need?
Yeah, the skills that you need so you can take each test.
Yeah. What's your goal? What do you want to do when you get your GED?
Temporarily, after I get my GED, I would like to go into phlebotomy school and do that for a while I do a 4-year school after that, and I would like to do accounting and finance.
Well, we wish you well with that. She's in the right place, Bonnie, to get on track to do what she wants to do, correct?
She is.
Yeah. Tell me about something that you and I were chatting just a little bit before about something called functional illiteracy. What is that?
Most people, when they hear the word illiteracy, they assume it's someone's ability to read. It's a little bit more than that. It's one's ability to function, comprehend, and be able to solve solutions. Unfortunately, our city has a huge functional literacy rate. It's about 66% here in Cleveland. But with many opportunity, or with an opportunity like this, brings great challenges, and for us to change that.
So what we try to do is get people to be more than functional.
Yes.
You want them to be able to read the medicine bottle, read the bus schedule, read the airline schedule, and know how to get around and negotiate their way through life.
Correct.
You brought something with you. Tell me about this. What is this you brought here that you've laid out on the table?
September was Literacy Month, and we kicked it off with a campaign called 66%, indicating the functional literacy rate here in Cleveland. But with that comes a great opportunity to empower everybody to change that.
Yeah. Now this looks like it's written backward as we talk about.
It's a little window clean.
Because this is a sticker that you put on your car, and when you put it on the car, it will show up correctly. That may be hard to see, but what it says is 66%. That's really hard to see under our bright lights here, but trust me, I would not deceive you on that one. But it says 66%, and we need to raise that number.
Correct.
So that so many people are. What kind of opportunities do you help provide for people?
We really provide those basic education skills. So someone will be able to strengthen their reading skills and their math skills, and then they have the ability to really take some employer's tests and really transition into employment.
Yeah, where are you located?
We have 2 locations. We're on the West 25th Street in Clark, and a new location on East 139th in Kinsman.
How has this changed your life, Crystalie?
Basically, I went from hopeless to having hope, because with no education, there's really no great job opportunities out there. So as a child, I always had big dreams for myself, and I didn't see myself as a failure until I did leave school. I decided to leave school, and basically I went from feeling like a failure to now having my hopes and dreams back, knowing what I want to do with my future, having goals, and setting those goals and completing those goals.
Did you run into walls when you got out without your high school diploma?
Oh yes, I was working at a Burger King, and I seen those around me, and they did have a high school diploma, and I thought to myself, why aren't they pushing themselves to do better? And I left school out of, it was a decision that I didn't want to make, but I did leave school, and I was like, this is not what I want my future to be. I don't want to be in a minimum wage job.
She's got the right attitude, right, Bonnie?
Does.
You've won some awards. Your organization, Seeds of Literacy, which has an office on the east side, one on the west side, you've won some awards. That means you must be doing the right thing.
Well, thank you. I really think it's the model that we really take for our students. Students are at a variety of different academic levels, so our tutors and our teachers really work with the students where they're at their own pace.
Can they walk in and get started?
Pretty much so. We have registration every single week, and as soon as they complete the registration process, they can attend class. And we have, at our west side location, we operate on 12-hour days from 8:30 to 8:30, and our east side, we are there from 9 to 5.
Why don't you give me locations for your west side and east side locations?
The west side location is at 3104 West 25th Street, which is on the corner of West 25th and Clark. Our east side location is on the corner of East 139th and Kinsman.
East 139th and Kinsman.
Correct.
And West 25th and Clark. And people can walk in and really get information by just walking in.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're talking about so we want to make sure that they're hearing what we're talking about. Or they can go to seedsofliteracy.org, or family members can get to seedsofliteracy.org and kind of help them negotiate through the website. There's a phone number I want to put on the screen as well in the 216 area, 661-7950. This is the difference between winning and losing, isn't it?
It is. Education can change your life.
Indeed. Can't say it any better than that. Many thanks. Bonnie Entler, Executive Director of Seeds of Literacy, and Crystalie Martinez. Good to have you on the broadcast as well. She's a student at Seeds of Literacy. I'll be back in just a moment as we continue our discussion here on Kaleidoscope. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate you being on the broadcast. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Today we have two guests from the Cleveland Sight Center. You know, the Cleveland Sight Center offers a range of programs and services to individuals who are blind or have experienced vision loss. Its president and executive director, Larry Benders, is here on the right, and director of marketing and communications and current events, Steve Frowork, is on the left. Is on the right, and Larry Benders on the left. I can see you, okay? I just get left and right confused sometimes. But Larry Bender on the left. Good to have you both with us.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah. Tell me about the mission of the Cleveland Sight Center.
Hey, Leon, the mission of the Cleveland Sight Center is to help people with blindness and low vision live a full and complete life independently, regardless of their condition. Make sure they can avail themselves of all the wonderful things in their life, and we help them get there. We help them do that.
And you do a wonderful job too. We'll talk a little bit about how you've affected the life of my mother, who is now gone, but how you affected her in just a moment. But you've got programs and services which are going on. Tell me a little bit about some of those programs and services that you're especially proud of.
Absolutely. We have programs for basically anyone of any age, and that can range from our Bright Futures preschool. We get kids in at an early age, see them through their teen years, adult programs, recreation, leisure. We also have some job training and development programs. So it's folks as they're experiencing vision loss. If they're looking to get back in the workforce, we have opportunities and programs to help them do that, all the way up to our senior services. So Rain's pretty much a partner for life from birth until senior years.
Larry, as we get older, our eyes change. That's just natural. They're going to change, aren't they? Generally speaking, very few of us keep on going with 20/20 without contact lenses or glasses or something as we get older. That's part of what you educate people about, don't you?
We do. We help people cope and encourage people to see their eye care professionals so they can be examined and have a professional see what the conditions are. But then we give our patients, our clients, the tools to cope. We help them with mobility skills. We help senior citizens stay in their homes longer. You know, as your eyes change, it's harder to read the numbers on the microwave oven, or it's harder to read a newspaper or even your computer. So we can help people and train them to live their everyday life. Do your laundry. Fill a cup of coffee. Fill a cup with water and not overflow. So we help people kind of cope with their changing eye conditions, and it's going to happen, and we're there to help.
You certainly helped my mother. When my mother was with me, she had macular degeneration, and I went there and bought the talking clock.
Sure.
And you hit the button, and it says that it's 9:15.
Right, it says you're late.
Yeah, you're late or whatever.
Time to get up.
She really enjoyed it. Tell me a little bit about the Cleveland Sight Center's call center. What happens at the call center?
Well, the call center employs 50 people. We have 50 people with work-limiting disabilities, and they answer calls from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. We have contracts with the county and the state. So, for instance, last year, the state of Ohio has a very big problem with income tax fraud, refund fraud.
Yeah.
So before you could get your refund, you had to prove your identity. So you'd call an 800 number. And when you called the Sight Center in downtown Cleveland.
Yeah.
And they ask you those questions, you know, what car were you driving in 1987? And if you pass the test, then you can get your refund. So we handle those contacts and those contracts for the state and the county.
Steve, let me ask you about the volunteers at the Sight Center. There are people who can go in and do various things. Tell me about that.
We are very fortunate to have over 700 volunteers, active volunteers at Cleveland Sight Center, ranging from assisting somebody with reading his or her mail, opening mail, paying bills, to assisting in the preschool that we have, reading to the children. Opportunities are endless. We have recreation activities where we'll go out and visit places in the community. The recreation that goes to the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, folks can ride a bike with one of our volunteers. We have a sighted partner for those types of activities. So endless opportunities to get involved.
And I want to ask you about vision screenings in just a moment, but I want to make sure we've got a phone number on the screen, 791-8118. That's in the 216 area code. Or you can go to clevelandsightcenter.org. You can get more information on everything we're talking about. Steve, while I got you talking, what about vision screenings and exams? Can people get those at the Sight Center?
Absolutely. We have a variety of programs. We start with preschoolers, and we'll go into preschools and start at an early age, because as we know, prevention is key. But we also have a vision clinic at our main headquarters in University Circle. They offer routine exams, but they also specialize in low vision exams.
You're located at East 100th Street and Chester Avenue.
101st and Chester, right in University Circle.
Okay. 101st and Chester.
Correct.
Tell me why you see this as vital. I mean, you're not just doing this for a job. I mean, you're on a mission.
We are on a mission, and it's because our society is so visually oriented. It's so important that we take it for granted. If you don't have a vision problem, you're not even aware of how important it is. And so when your vision is affected, your life can be affected. And the quality of life is directly related to how independent you can be. And we help people be as independent as possible, and that's what our mission is, and that's what we do every day.
People can make a phone call right to the Sight Center and get information on everything we're talking about, or if they even don't know what to ask, if they just tell their situation, you'll figure out the question and
Place
give
that
them an
call,
answer.
and we'll direct them as appropriate.
Okay. I appreciate you being on the broadcast, really. And you got a program called, and maybe we can squeeze this in, the Fidelity Model at Case. What is that?
Right. We help
What is
people.
that?
We help, as Steve said, we help people find employment. So we train people to be ready for employment, to be job ready, and we also help them go out and do the interviews and secure the employment.
It's called the Supported Employment Fidelity Model.
Right. We use a quantitative model through CASE to make sure that we are actually working as hard as possible with best practices to make sure that our training programs are effective and efficient in helping people get employed.
Larry Benders is President and Executive Director of the Cleveland Sight Center, and Steve Frowork is Director of Marketing, Communications, and Special Events. Gentlemen, thank you for being on the broadcast. 791-8118 in the 216 area code. More information on everything we're talking about. I'm Leon Bibb, taking a break. I'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Christian Children's Home of Ohio works diligently to find homes for children in need of foster care or adoption. Rhonda Greer is adoption coordinator. She joins me this afternoon to talk about her efforts to find families for these children. Foster children, adoption, all those kinds of things, right?
Absolutely.
Good to have you with us. Is that the overall mission of Christian Children's Home of Ohio?
Well, the Christian Children's Home of Ohio exists to help people find hope and healing in Jesus, and we do that through a variety of programs. I work for Encompass, which is a ministry of Christian Children's Home of Ohio, and we serve families through foster care, adoption, and counseling. But at our main branch in Worcester, we also have equine therapy, we have a residential treatment center, and we have a team building course.
Yeah. So, what's the typical profile of children in need of foster care or adoption?
Well, children come into foster care because of abuse or neglect. Often the children that are referred to us are little sibling groups of 2, 3, 4 kids, or maybe the older children.
You're looking for families to take in these youngsters. What are the qualifications now?
Well, we believe that children grow better in families, and we're looking not necessarily for perfect families, but just people who love kids, people who have some flexibility to spend time with children, care for their needs, people who worked well with a team, because we will encompass that child with a team involving counselors, case managers, the birth family, the foster family. So we need people who are willing to work as a team.
We have a lot of children in foster care right now, don't we?
Yes, we do. In Ohio, we have over 12,000 kids in foster care system.
And these kids all they're all trying to get their lives together, and they need the warmth and the love of a family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And stability.
Yeah. How long does it, on average, how long do foster parents perhaps keep a child? How long would they have a child?
It could be anywhere from 6 months to a couple of years.
And from there, they can even be adopted.
From that point, if children are in the custody of child serving agency 12 out of 24 months, then the county can apply for permanent custody. And if that's granted, then foster parents are the first people that we look at to see if they would like to adopt that child and make a permanent home for him.
I want to put a phone number, as we continue our discussion, I want to put a phone number on the screen, 330-345-7949, or you can go to encompasscenters.org, encompasscenters.org. You can get more information on everything we are talking about. I'm intrigued now because it's called the Christian Children's Home.
Yes.
So there is a religious piece in all of this. There's a foundation there. Tell
Yes.
me about how that works with what we're talking about.
Well, we do have a Christian foundation, but the therapies that we use with our children and with families is trauma-based, and that goes along very well with the way that we believe that Jesus teaches us to treat others with respect and with compassion.
Yeah. Many of the children who are in foster care need that religious component. They
Sure.
need that to be brought along in a faithful religious way, is what
Yes.
it seems to be what
Yes,
what
we
you're
all
talking
have a spiritual part to ourselves, so we attend to that spiritual part as well. We don't force religion on a child. A lot of times our kids want to go to church with their foster parents, but that's not something that we force.
Some of them come from troubled situations. That's how
Yes.
they got to be foster children.
Yes, our children come from hard places. They've experienced a lot of trauma before they come into foster care. So we try to attend to their needs, help them to feel safe and secure, let them know that there is an adult who cares and someone they can put their trust in so that they can continue to grow and develop in a way that's healthy.
And the goal is to get them in a warm family that will continue that nurturing and continue that
Yes.
to raise them that way or rear
Yes.
them that way. What do you want people to do now? What can they do? Where does it begin now? What can that public out here that's looking at you, 19 Northeast Ohio counties
Yes.
looking at you right now, what can they do?
Well, the first step would be to call 330-345-7949. My extension is 2336, and that will begin the process. We'll talk about any questions that inquirers have, and then we have a pre-service training starting in January. It will start January 12th, and it's a 36-hour course in which we teach families how to help support children who have been through trauma, children who are separated from their families, and we teach about development and how that's affected by abuse and neglect. So we prepare families to take care of the children. Once we do that training in January, then we would do a home study, which is just a matter of coming out to your home, getting to know you, see what your strengths are.
Making sure this would be a good fit. Okay.
Yes.
Well, many thanks, Rhonda Greer, Adoption and Family Services Coordinator for the Christian Children's Home. Once again, the phone number is on the screen, 330-345-7949, or go to encompasscenters.org or that website you see the website at the bottom of the screen. Many thanks.
Well, thank you very much.
We wish you all well. We wish the children all well.
We do wish the children well.
We must love the children.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Many thanks, Rhonda. I'll
Thank
take a
you.
break. I'll be right back with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Cordell Stokes from the Urban League will join me in just a moment. The Morning Exchange segment of Kaleidoscope means the Urban League of Greater Cleveland is with us. Cordell Stokes representing Marshall Mockabee today. Hey, Cordell.
Good morning, Leon. How are you?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
What are you thinking about today?
All right. In our previous taping, we talked about our new partnership with the Construction Employers Association and a new initiative called Work Now Construction Initiative. It is a specifically targeted program toward individuals ages 21 to 28 who are interested in developing a career in construction, which is in demand. You will be required to go to www.ceacisp.org. There will be a tab called Work Now. At that point, you'll fill out an applicant profile document, an applicant questionnaire, which is very important to fill it out in its entirety and completely. Those individuals must have transportation. That's a prerequisite.
Yeah, because you're going to be going to classes to learn how to get a job in the construction industry.
Yes, sir. 4 weeks and right into employment. You will need to have a high school diploma and or a GED. Must pass a construction industry drug test. You will be required to pass a math and reading TABE test, which is 6th and 7th grade levels. Again, transportation is the most important thing that you must have. And then lastly, you must be coachable, timely, ready to learn and work, and meet all required guidelines, and we will have a stipend incorporated over the 4 weeks for those individuals. It's a good thing.
Okay, well, we hope that people will follow suit on that.
Same
If
here.
you got questions, call the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. They'll get you connected. Take care, everybody.
Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.